So I get a unique opportunity to come up here and talk to you today about R-Series loaders. And I get about 10, 15 minutes just to kind of take you on a journey that resulted in these products. So really excited about that. So I'm going to talk about a couple things because this really was a clean sheet design for us. And we don't get that opportunity all that often to really start with a clean sheet, set aside for a moment all of the things that we've learned over the years, and just talk about solving problems in a very unique way. So as I set up the ground rules for the team, quality, reliability, and durability, that was really at the forefront of these cross-functional groups, operations, engineering, and so forth, that came together to design these new loaders. And I use the analogy of this was their compass. So whenever they were making critical decisions, they'd always come back and ask themselves, are we improving quality, reliability, and durability? So that was really the kind of the central focus for the team. Okay, the other thing that I would tell you is that we spent a lot of time on the cab design. And that was really important because this is our customer's office. This is where they go to work every day. We wanted to make it as quiet, as comfortable as we could. So a lot of focus on the cab, and when you look at these products, you'll see dramatic change in the cab area. And we always like to try and make the next generation of products stronger, more capable than the current products, whether that be horsepower, travel speed, lift capacity, and so forth. How can we put more capability into the same package or, make upgrades in those areas, okay? And then last but not least, we wanted to make it much more simple because we believe making products and designing them more simply really helps our assemblers in the factory. They have less items to remember and focus on when they're putting the product together. Make it easier to assemble also makes it easier to service, and all that kind of results in that perception of better quality and better reliability. So those were kind of the focus points when we got started. All right, so I'm going to move on, and I'm going to talk about the engine system because this is really where we had some dramatic change that we had to accommodate in the new products. So the engine that we have in our R-Series loaders is a completely new engine. It's part for part, it's almost 100% changed over today's engine. Part of that is a function of the Stage 5 requirements for Europe, and part of that is we wanted to make these engines even better than they were. So they have more capability. I'm commenting here that the 3.4 liter has horsepower capabilities now up to 115 horse. There's room above that to grow in the future. And we have a brand new fuel system. We have a brand new Bosch fuel system replacing the Delphi fuel system. So the engines are dramatically changed over today's products, and they're going to be even better engines. Now, when we think about how to put that engine into our product, one of the major changes that we focused on was reorienting the engine. And as a result of that, I'm going to talk about that in another slide, but the fuel tank today is placed under the engine. So as we reoriented the engine, we had to make some changes to the fuel system. You can see the R-Series fuel tank now is placed off to the side of the engine. The other thing that you'll notice, and it's highlighted in the bubble off to the side, is that we put in a much larger fuel filter. Now that fuel filter is a requirement for the new Bosch fuel system, but it also has much more capacity than today's filter. And you can also see next to the filter, highlighted in orange, a dedicated lift pump. Now the entire low pressure fuel system, all of the circuitry ahead of the engine is dramatically improved, and it results in better cold start ability and overall reliability. So we're really excited about the changes and the upgrades in the fuel system. Okay, now moving on to the cooling system, starting with the M-Series cooling system. First thing that you're going to notice with an R-Series fuel system is a much larger cooling package. So we have additional horsepower. We also have, due to the emission system, we have more heat load on the cooling system. And you'll see a much larger fan. On that T76, the M-Series equivalent cooling fan has been increased by 10 inches to 28 inches. So a dramatically larger cooling fan. Now we're turning that cooling fan slower. We're moving more air through the cooling system. And it results in more cooling capability but less noise. The other thing that you'll notice on the visual here is that we're bringing air in through the rear tailgate. So that's new for us. And we're moving that air out through the top of the cooling stack. So why did we do that? Why is that important? Well, we wanted to dramatically lower the temperatures in the engine compartment, just from a quality, reliability, and durability standpoint. Anything that's electrical, relays, wire harnessing, and so forth, it'll last much longer if we can lower the temperatures. And so we've lowered engine compartment temperatures by 80 degrees. So that's a dramatic improvement there. All right. So I made reference to repositioning the engine earlier. So if we look at the M-Series design, it's the transverse mounted engine design that we've had for many years. Now we've reoriented the engine longitudinally in the product, and we've also connected the hydrostatic and the hydraulic pumps now in line with the engine. So we've eliminated the drive belt, we've eliminated the tensioning system, simplified that, going back to that comment on making it simpler, and we've made it more reliable. We've also tested this new coupling system up to 2 times the highest horsepower that we have available. So it's a very, very reliable, very successful design. So we're really looking forward to the improvements here. Now, you'll see we did not impact serviceability. In fact, I believe the overall service index has been improved with this new engine orientation as well. Okay, now the engine has to interact with the rest of the machine. If we look at the skid steer loader design, you know, we would have had a collision where the engine had to interact with the transmission. So our center position chain case in the skid steer loader has been revised on our series. We've split the chain case, moved the chains to the outside, but no fear, those long life, no adjust, highly reliable chain drive system that we had is still in place. And we've actually further strengthened our chain case design with steel castings around supporting the axle tubes. And again, you can see those if you walk around these R-Series machines. Okay, now I'll talk a little bit about the lift arm system. The M-Series lift arm design has been a very successful design for us over the years. But again, going back to my comment, how do we do more with the new next generation lift arm design? You're going to see on the R-Series design some unique changes that we've made here. So I'm going to point out the driver link and the lift cylinder. Those have changed in that they cross over each other now in their lift path. All the M-Series components were all in line. And I'll talk about the advantage that this provides. But I also want to note, and it's highlighted in orange, all of those components that are shown there are all optimized and strengthened steel castings. Okay, why are steel castings important to us? Well, they allow us to optimize the overall weight of the lift arm and address the high stress areas in the lift arm in the most efficient manner. We have steel castings as well in the bob attach and then in the follower link and driver link. Now I'm going to talk just about the kinematics of the lift arm and what we've done there. So we're optimizing lift capacity, reach, dump height, trying to give additional specifications to those, and that's all been done. But one of the important changes in moving that link to the back is that we've added a lot of service accessibility over the side of the machine. So now with only lifting the cab up and without lifting the lift arm, we can access a lot more serviceability to the center of the machine. So we really like the enhancement to serviceability as well. Now I'm going to use the control valve as an example of how we focused on making these easier for our operations team to put together. If we look at the M-Series control valve, it's been placed on the side of the machine, kind of under the fender area. And as we added new features like rear auxiliaries or power bob attach, we continued to add components and a lot of plumbing to the machine. But this was an opportunity for us to now have all of that history of the needs of our customers, and in one neat package all of those capabilities in one new control valve subassembly. The subassembly can be assembled on the bench where there's good wrench access to all of the fittings, helping us to provide more reliability when it comes to leaks, and we can test these subassemblies. Now, this approach to doing more focused subassembly work is a common theme throughout the machine, whether we're looking at engine subassemblies, hydraulic subassemblies, cooling subassemblies. We have the ability now to do much more work on the bench where our operators have better ergonomics and so forth to put these together. Okay, I'm also going to talk a little bit about the cab system, and the reason that that's important is we placed a lot of focus on how do we make this the best environment possible for the operator. The M-Series design was kind of a clamshell design, two systems that had to come together, a lot of sealing that had to take place between those, as well as the doors and windows. The R-Series design is now a one-piece assembly. The entire lower and top portion of the cab environment is all one weldment. It gives us a much better opportunity to seal that environment up, keep rain, keep dust, keep noise out of the operator's area. And then you'll notice highlighted in orange, we've eliminated 75% of the side screen on our cabs. That really helps the operator to see to the sides of the machine, see his work area, see the edge of his tracks or his wheel system as he's working around objects. So as you take a look at the machines that we have in the back, you're going to see a lot of improvements generally in that cab area. All right, next slide. Clicker's starting to slow down. Battery's running out. Okay, I'm going to talk about a couple new features, and these are new features for the R-Series, starting with our 7-inch capacitive touch display. This is a new display for us. It operates just like your iPhone. Very soft touch on the face of the screen, issues the command. You don't have to press hard like some displays that are out there. And you get to integrate all of your infotainment, your rear view camera, your phone. All of the vitals for the machine are on this nice bright display, and we've got examples back there where you can interact with that and test that out. Then we also are introducing on our 80 and 90 series R-Series loaders, SuperFlow hydraulics. That'll be capabilities 42 gallons and over 4,000 PSI, just about 4,100 PSI of attachment flow capabilities. So you can do more work with these attachments and more productivity overall. And then we're taking the 5-link torsion suspension system that we introduced on the T870 that offers the great ride and the very good gradability, and we're going to offer that on all of our track loaders, 50, 60, 70 series that you see back there, as well as the remaining launches. So a lot of nice new features. Now the last one I'm going to talk about I don't have shown, but we've upgraded the overall digital architecture of these machines. So if you caught Joe Honeyman's presentation earlier, he's talking about all the new innovations coming with Max Control and options, features on demand, and new telematics and so forth. The overall digital architecture has been also upgraded, so we can offer all those exciting new innovations for the digital age. All right. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is one that I'm really excited about, and that's the styling of these new products. So working with our industrial design team, working with the marketing group, I think we've done a fantastic job just improving the overall look of these products. Now, I've been working on these for about 30 years, and to me, I told my team, these are some of the sexiest products we've ever designed. And I think that probably tells you I've been working on this a little too long. But I think the overall outcome of these products is really good looking, and I really invite you to take a closer look, hop in the cab, take a overall look at what your new office might be in the future. I really thank everybody for your attention and hope you enjoy the show.